I called my stepdad by his first name for 16 years. Last Tuesday, I called him Dad, and he walked out of the room. My biological father left when I was 3. Not dramatic. He just stopped showing up. My mom waited by the window for 2 weeks before she took his toothbrush out of the bathroom. Victor showed up when I was 5. He was dating my mom for a month before I met him. First time he came over, he brought me a book about sharks because my mom told him I liked the ocean. I was actually into dolphins, but he'd tried. He sat on the floor and read the whole thing with me. Did the voices wrong on purpose? And I laughed so hard juice came out of my nose. He married my mom when I was 7. From the beginning, I called him Victor. He never once corrected me. My mom brought it up one night when she thought I was asleep. Maybe we should encourage him. Victor's voice was quiet but clear. He'll say it when he means it. I don't want a word he had to be talked into. That sentence lived in my head for years. He came to every single thing. Baseball games where I struck out 4 times. School plays where I had 2 lines and forgot 1. Parent-teacher conferences where the teacher would say, "You must be Dad," and he'd smile and say, "I'm Victor." Never corrected it toward Dad. Never corrected it away either. Just, "I'm Victor." Like the title didn't matter. The actions did. When I was 12, I broke my arm off a bike I wasn't supposed to ride. Victor drove me to the hospital going way too fast, talking the whole time to keep me from looking at my arm bending in a direction arms shouldn't bend. He held my other hand in the waiting room. When the doctor said setting it would hurt, he looked at me and said, "Squeeze as hard as you need to." I almost broke his fingers. He didn't flinch. When I was 15, my biological father sent a letter. No return address. Said he was sorry and maybe we could grab lunch, like 12 years of nothing could be fixed with a sandwich. I showed it to Victor. He read it twice. Then he said, "What do you want to do with this?" Not what he thought I should do. What I wanted. I threw it away. He nodded. We never talked about it again. Junior year, I got suspended for fighting. Victor picked me up and didn't speak for 10 minutes. Then he said, "Was it worth it?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay." Then he bought me a milkshake and told my mom I'd been released early for a teacher workday. She found out a week later. Victor took the heat, said he made a judgment call. She didn't speak to him for 2 days. He slept on the couch and never once threw me under the bus. When I left for college, he drove me 8 hours, helped me carry everything up 4 flights because the elevator was broken. When my stuff was set up, he stood in the doorway, looked around, nodded. Then he hugged me, not like before. He held on for a long time, like he was memorizing it. Then he patted my back and said, "Call your mother tonight or she'll drive here herself." He walked down the hall, didn't look back, but I saw him wipe his face with his sleeve before he turned the corner. 3 weeks ago, my mom called. Victor had a heart attack at work, stable but serious. I drove 6 hours, walked into the hospital room, tubes everywhere. He looked annoyed at the machines. He saw me, and the first thing he said was, "You didn't have to come all this way." I stayed 4 days, slept in that chair. He kept telling me to go home. Last Tuesday, the nurse came in and asked who I was. Before I could think, I said, "I'm his son." Victor looked at me. That night, I stood up to get food and said, "I'll be right back, Dad." He stared at me for 3 seconds. Then he got up, even though he absolutely should not have been getting up. He walked to the bathroom and closed the door. I could hear him through it. He was crying, not quiet, the kind where your whole body shakes. I pressed my hand against that door and listened to a man who waited 16 years for one word finally hear it. He came out after 5 minutes, eyes red. He said, "I need you to know something. You didn't owe me that. I never needed you to say it. I just needed to be here." "I know," I said. "That's why I said it." He smiled. The same smile from the shark book, from the milkshake. Same smile for 16 years. I called him last night. "Hey, Dad, how's the ticker?" He laughed so hard he started coughing, and my mom yelled from the other room to stop making him laugh. He whispered, "Your mother's going to kill me before this heart does." I'm calling him again tomorrow. He waited 16 years. I'm not making him wait for anything else.